Tahir Khan is the founder and CEO of Rocket Seller. Could you just give us what made you create that software in the first place?
I used to spend 30 plus hours a week researching to find a product to sell, make a bug.
With Helium 10 and there's Smart Scout, and there are a lot of softwares out there. So what is the difference?
And of course, when you're new, you don't want to go after products that are dominated by mega brands.
In terms of the listing creation, right? You mentioned you can do A/B testing and you can create image.
Ecom Squeezed podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Ecom Squeezed. I am a host, Sebastian, founder of Retail-Outsource, and today I have a special guest, Tahir Khan. We met in Ecommerce. He was a speaker over Ecommerce, and he had a fantastic presentation. We had a chat and discuss about the software that he have. So that's why we end up having this podcast, because it's so interesting, the software that he have, and it does a lot of stuff. And Tahir Khan is the founder and CEO of Rocket Seller, and within that software we have ScalePilot. So in a nutshell, it's a powerhouse of AI driven, right? It automates everything from pricing, inventory, PPC, fulfillment across a lot of platforms like Amazon, Walmart, Etsy, and more. So we are going to drill down to it, and mainly we're going to focus on ScalePilot, and hopefully you can share the screen and show us some of the functionalities. Welcome to the show, Tahir.
Thank you, Seb. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me. Like Seb introduced, I'm the founder and CEO of Rocket Seller, and I look forward to having a very interesting chat in this podcast.
Fantastic. You have a wonderful software. Could you just give us what made you create that software in the first place?
Yeah. So, Seb, as you already know, product research is so fragmented. People, when they get into the game, or even seasoned sellers, the only recipe that exists today is people think they want to sell in a specific category. They go use Helium 10's black box, or they go to Keepa. They find low BSR items. They look at the dimensional weight. Hopefully, you're looking at the dimensional weight when you go sourcing. Then they go research that product on Amazon, look at the reviews, and see what people are saying. And then based on those reviews, they try to create enough differentiation in the product that they think will work. Now, that is the extent of data that is available out there, and it's fragmented. And I realized when I went sourcing, I thought I was smart. I failed miserably 3 times. And after losing a bunch of money, I was like, okay, this is not working. And there's no comprehensive solution out there on the market that condenses. I used to spend 30 plus hours a week researching to find a product to sell, make a bug, and it's difficult to make a bug on Amazon, as you already know. So coupled with the competitiveness and the lack of a comprehensive solution and the advent of AI, specifically the Product Opportunity Explorer, I looked at Product Opportunity Explorer and then I was like, okay, this is great. This is coming straight from the horse's mouth. So how do we capitalize on this data? Then I looked at it from a private label seller perspective. I go into a niche, I click on the ASIN, I look at the insights, the review insights, but then I'm a PL seller. I need to look at a bunch of ASINs in order for me to make a decision on whether or not I want to go after a certain product, differentiate enough myself. So I ended up writing everything down. And I was like, what am I doing? We are in the 21st century. This is so outdated. So I looked at the Product Opportunity Explorer, and they have the download button. I was like, okay. My engineering mind kicked in, and I was like, okay, let's start downloading the data first. That's how it started. We started downloading the niche, ASIN, insights, search terms, and then I was like, this is gold mine. Why don't we just shove it in the database? Then we started. And so this process started early June 2024. And I didn't have a comprehensive solution in my mind until August. I was just downloading the data, and then starting August, we started putting shoving all the data into the database. And then I was like, okay, now all the data is in the database. What do I do with it? That's when we started building our LLM. And this factual data is fed into our custom LLM, and we tune and train the LLM to provide us the insights, that market intelligence that people need today. So when you go to the software, you're greeted with a dashboard. Say, we have 1,500 hidden gems, we have 2,000 trending opportunities, we have X numbers of low risk opportunities. You just click into it, and then we summarize everything for you at a niche level. And we also tell you whether the niche is private label friendly or not. We run through each niche through the brand dominance and the brand competition and determine whether it's a private label friendly niche or not. So we cut down your research time by a factor of probably 10,000%. So instead of spending a week on product research, you can get the same answer in under 10 minutes. Now, that is all factual data coupled with our AI and what we think. Beyond that, you still have to do your research. Okay, you shortlist a list of 10 products using our software, but then you still have to see whether it's compliant with Amazon listing policies, whether you can still make a buck. We think you can make a buck, but we don't control how supply chain works, how well you're negotiating with your sourcing agent. So what all we leave to you is make sure you can list it and make sure it's profitable before you launch it. But other than that, we provide you all the market intelligence you need today to successfully launch your FBA business. Or even if you're in the game, seasoned seller, we cut your product research down by a factor of 10,000%. So that's, in a nutshell, a long-winded response to your very small question.
Great. That's great, Tahir. And you mentioned at the starting about the traditional way of doing the research, right? With Helium 10 and the Smart Scout, and there are a lot of softwares out there. So what is the difference? What is wrong with those procedures or the system to find product?
So Helium 10, and I'm not talking bad about any software here per se, but when you go to Helium 10, one of the issues that I had with Helium 10 is when you use the black box. I'm a new seller. Okay, I'm not familiar with the terminology. Or even if I'm a seasoned seller, I don't understand those terms as well as I think I do. And that's what I've found. That's what I've observed. Am I 100% correct? No, I may be wrong. But the terminology, and it shows you a lot of irrelevant data. Now, all I need to know is whether this product is potentially profitable to me or not. I'd select a category. You show me all these filters, which I have no clue how to use. Okay. And then you show me thousands of items within that, and I'm lost. I'm going to quit and go and ask them for a refund because I don't understand. And the other thing is the data that comes from Helium 10's black box comes straight from Keepa. Why am I not going to Keepa? I mean, my knowledge about Helium 10 black box is dated, so don't hold me to it. I used it about 3 years ago, and I'm very familiar with Keepa because we use Keepa to enrich other data from the seller's catalog. So I was very familiar with Keepa. When I went to Helium 10, I looked at the filters, and they looked frighteningly similar to what Keepa was doing. So I was like, is it running Keepa under the hood? And possibly they are. I don't know. So I was lost, and I'm relatively familiar with the technology. So now I have all this, but I don't have a clear answer. Where am I going with this? What am I doing? How am I going to differentiate? I like this product. This is doing very well. It has a low BSR. The competition is low. People are buying it. People have issues with it, like they have with everything. So how do I create something that addresses the potential negativity in the software, in the product now, and turn the tables and offer the market what it actually needs? Black box, Keepa were completely useless to me. So I was like, okay, how do we go forward from here? Then I looked at it from a typical private label seller perspective. Those are the challenges that I'm trying to solve. The software attempts to solve those exact challenges that I came across, looking at from a private label perspective. And I think we have made it very simple. Can we make it even simpler? Of course we can. And we are continuously getting feedback from the current users and trying to make it as simple as possible. We give you the meat, go after this product, but make sure you source it correct, and then you make sure your dimensional weight and everything fits into the paradigm where you can actually make a profit rather than use our software as gospel. Don't use any software that recommends a product as as the gospel of truth. Do your own research. But rather than you doing 100% of the research, we cut it down to only 5% of the research that you have to do. A, make sure you can list it. B, make sure it's profitable. Those are the decisions that we leave to you. Everything else before that, all the intelligence we provide right there. And to top it all, Seb, once you source, once you list, we are offering this complimentary to your users, a listings pilot, where we capitalize on our AI for you to optimize your listings, generate images that are about 98 to 100% realistic, as real as they can look from your images that you have uploaded. Our sellers, our users, currently they said some of those images are 99 to 100% accurate. So we let you generate images, we let you optimize your titles, your bullet point. We also let you A/B test your listings, something that no one else does. It's all built into the software. The purpose of the software is to make sure that we cannot eliminate the product launch risk. Abysmally high. It's 93%. I mean, astoundingly high failure rate on Amazon, 93%. If we can reduce that launch risk even by 5%, I think ScalePilot has met its objective. That's what the goal is.
Great. You mentioned about the data that Helium 10, might or might not be using Keeper, right? But in your case, I assume you get the data directly from Amazon.
Yeah.
Could you just clarify?
All the data that we feed into our LLM comes straight from Amazon's Product Opportunity Explorer. We download all the data. We download it once every 3 months because we currently plan on supporting. We're rolling out an algorithm optimization today that the team is working on that will let you eliminate brands that are dominating the niche, something as a private label seller. And of course, when you're new, you don't want to go after products that are dominated by mega brands. That optimization is in progress. It will be rolled out. And then right after that, we are rolling out UK. And right after that, we are rolling out Germany. So we plan on, in the short term, supporting 3 marketplaces, US, Germany, and UK. We may grow beyond that, but as of now, I think those 3 marketplaces keep us occupied.
Great. And in terms of the product research, the AI element is there, right, within the software. On Helium 10, there are, like, as you mentioned, there are hundreds of filters. It's just a lot of filters that you can do, organic ranking and number of reviews per package size. So the list is big. So compare that with the software that you provide. Does it look like, will the AI decide it, or do you have input that you have to put something? If you can just enlighten on that, please.
Good question, Seb. So all the data that comes from Amazon, and that has the search terms people are using, the top 3 dominated niche, in that the top 3 ASINs that dominate the niche, the search terms, the traffic, the average price, the reviews, the positive and negative reviews, the return rate, all that comes from Amazon, which is fed into the LLM. And the goal of the software is to answer one simple question. Tell me what I need to list, what I need to source,
So
and eliminate everything else. You don't have to figure out how many reviews are there, how are you going to differentiate based on the reviews, what search terms are working, what search terms are not working, what's the return rate on the niche. You don't have to know all that. You just need to know, look at hidden gems, look at trending opportunities, simple filters, category filter, hidden gem score, your price range. You can filter on budget gems, product opportunities less than $50. Very simple, that anyone can use without having to know the terminology and being an expert Amazon seller. With Helium 10s of the world and the software, you absolutely have to know what you're looking at. Now, that is a steep learning curve for someone coming into the market, or even someone that has been in the market. They don't understand, and they're not in the business of understanding your software. They're in the business of sourcing, selling, researching, sourcing, and selling. And someone asks you for the time, you don't give them the science of making a watch. You just tell them the time. And that is what the intent of ScalePilot is.
That's great to hear. And in terms of the listing creation, right? You mentioned you can do A/B testing and you can create image. Do you want to walk us through how it looks like? If you have a demo account ready, means something that you can just show how easy it is. I haven't seen it because that will be good to see in real life,
Absolutely.
maybe.
I'll give you a 10-minute, and I'll try to keep it under 10 minutes. I'll walk through the software and then we'll go into the portfolio section, which is our listing optimizer. And hopefully,
And this listing optimizer, can we use it for example, if I have a few listing already on my Seller Central account, can I use the software to optimize that current listing which is active, or is that
absolutely.
just for the new listing?
No. Absolutely, you can. You can generate optimization and push those optimizations now. You can generate the images. The images you have to, we create the image, you upload it. We don't have, so right now what you can A/B test is title and bullet points. We will be adding image optimization, but we are not there yet. And the price optimization, we have another product called Price Pilot, which is currently called Transferwise, which is an automated repricer. If time allows, someday we'll do a demo on that. It has forecasts your inventory requirements, your price. It determines your price elasticity, where you should be, and the relation between price and volume. So it does a lot of analysis, something that people call dynamic pricing, but it's not dynamic pricing. It's true forecasting based on your data using machine learning. So let's get in. So this is the quick risk check section, Seb, where you can come in, enter an ASIN, and get a brief overview of what the good, bad, and ugly about the ASIN is, and how you should differentiate. So let's see how it works. Remember, the ASIN has to be in our database in order for us to, and currently,
So that's for the US marketplace on certain categories, right? I assume.
so we support 6 private label heavy categories. These are in no order of preference: home and kitchen, health and household, sports and outdoors, pet supplies, baby products, and beauty.
So no
What's that?
DIY.
DIY? No, I don't understand the question. I mean, do it yourself?
Yeah. So there's
No, no.
the section category, right, for DIY on Amazon.
It's not in the US marketplace. It may be in the
Okay,
UK.
sorry, my specific. So in
Yes,
Europe, they have a category for DIY.
yes, yeah, they do. And I came across that, and I was scratching my head, like, what is this? And they also have something called archive in the product opportunity explorer, which didn't make sense to me. So we just skipped those categories because I'm not familiar with those categories. But if it is a category that you think, is it private label heavy DIY?
Yes, because a lot of tools and things are under DIY.
Uh-huh. Okay. So we may look into making an exception for European marketplace. Pardon my limited geographical knowledge, guys. Anyways, so we did a quick risk check. It came up with a profitability assessment, market saturation level, launch risk. It provides a differentiation angle, recommendations, market opportunity. So this is just a synopsis of very brief overview of what the ACE is.
So Tahir, I have a question. So for this ASIN that you have pasted,
Mhm.
so I need to go into Amazon. I need to find an ASIN, right? And then I have to paste it over here. Similar or something similar that I am planning to sell, or
Similar.
from where you get this ASIN?
So what we suggest right now, how product research works is you go to a category, look at an ASIN, and see how well you can differentiate. And if you can differentiate well enough, and it's a low BSR, it fits your budget, it fits your timeline. That is what you go after, and you differentiate it. Create enough differentiation in the product, right? So
Yep.
that is what the thought process is here. You will create a short list of ASINs that you think you want to sell, and then you validate those here.
Got it. So we can put ASINs. Can we put like a command or a prompt?
the product title works.
Okay. Okay.
So if you put the product title, if it's not an ASIN, our software makes a best guess, not best guess, best effort of finding the correct ASIN. And if it does find it, it will run the quick risk check, or it will say product is not in our database.
Got it. Got it.
So here you have quick stats, you have hidden gems, trending opportunities, low risk opportunities, high profit margins. Then you would go into your hidden opportunities, and then you will look at
The here, for the hidden gems, how do you define a hidden gem? Is there any
so
specific criteria?
yes. So there are about 14 criteria that it goes through. One of them is the HHI, which is now the users will not know this, but I'm throwing out there. Herfandel-Hirschman Index, the concentration ratio of the brands, the profitability factor, the search growth, the search terms, the reviews, the positive and negative mentions, the quality adjusted mode, they all are combined into creating one score, which is called the hidden gem score. Okay. So our software
That's very
sifts,
intelligent.
yeah, so our software sifts through millions of ASINs and says, okay, these are the hidden gems that we found, and then you just validate that these are in fact hidden gems. Once you do find them, you can filter them on categories or hidden gem score, disruption ready. You can do a custom search. We are updating this completely by the end of the day today, where there will be a filter for private label friendly. Those niches are private label friendly. Why? Because the brands are not dominating, and if they are dominating, they are below a certain threshold. The quality adjusted mode that we have built in, it tells us whether the market is skewed towards, whether search terms are skewed towards a specific brand or not. So we do a ton of intelligence under the hood to across millions of ASINs to bring you this intelligence. And our goal is simple, to help you succeed. And so if I can reduce the launch risk of a new product, the failure rate is 93%. If ScalePilot can help it reduce by even 5%, I think we are good. So this is what our software provides: complete, comprehensive market intelligence. And all these core definitions are in the help section that explain to you what these are, how they're, what they mean. But even what you need to look at is the hidden gem score is good, the profitability score is good. It's a good niche. Now, what is the reasoning behind the nicheability reasoning? Why do we think there's growth potential? We give you the reason. We give you the market opportunity. How you should actually differentiate. Now, we also suggest the funding requirements. Remember, Seb, we take whatever our software says that the funding requirements are, and we put another 25% on it to make the budget big enough so that mentally prepared that this is a big budget item. And if you do go after that niche, you will be pleasantly surprised that, oh, ScalePilot was BSing me, I need 200,000, but I was able to pull it off in under 80,000. So that's a good position to be in, right? So our budgeting is very, very liberal. Our scores are not that liberal. So we try to do a good job on finding products where you can actually succeed. We tell you what the strategic recommendations are, who the competition is, what are the competitive gaps, the white space opportunities where you can excel, the financial projections, and the break-even timeline, the ROI scenarios, the cash flow requirements. Again, these are very liberal. You may be able to pull it off in under 200,000. Who knows? It depends on how well you negotiate with your sourcing and how well you can save money shipping it to AWD or LPA, whatever the case may be. We tell you the optimal launch timing. We tell you what your market entry strategy should be. A follower, niche player, whatever the case may be. Pricing strategy, keep premium pricing, entry barriers, how to mitigate your launch risk, your tacos, um, and the keywords, and the click share expected click share that the software thinks that you'll get for that, and the disruption opportunity detected. You can further go in and calculate the profit. It gives you a ballpark based on the categories. So let's go back.
That's quite detailed, the report that you have. A lot of information. It's really
Correct.
useful in terms of inventory, the amount of money that you need to invest. But I have a question. For example, if it's a trending item, okay, or seasonal item versus evergreen item, does it shows over here, that
Yes.
data?
Yes. So it will have seasonal analysis, and it
Okay.
will show you seasonal patterns where the item is seasonal. So no data available, meaning this product it is not affected by seasonality. But if it's a seasonal product, it will tell you.
Okay, got it. And in terms of, if it's a gated category or, those kind of risks are there, right? The compliance side. Uh,
Most definitely. Most definitely. So the compliance risks are addressed here too, but their compliance risks are generally related to, take for example, if you launch something in baby products, something that is ingestible, our software will tell you that there's a compliance risk here. What it will not tell you is the compliance risk as defined by Amazon. So they may have different compliance risk criteria. So those are the things. At the beginning of the presentation of the podcast, I told you that there are only two questions you need to answer: whether you can list it and whether it is profitable. If you can list it, then you go into whether it makes sense for you to go in there and source it and list it, whether you can make a buck or not. So yes, there are compliance risks that we don't know of. The software doesn't make that determination. The only determination it makes as far as compliance risk goes is when you trying to launch an ingestible, it will tell you you'll have FDA costs and all that. But the cool thing is our budget includes all the differentiation, the cost of differentiation and the cost of compliance in the budget. That's the reason the budget is that high.
that's quite detailed. Means uh, it's the first time I'm seeing it. Means I didn't thought that it was that detailed. I thought there was some element of the AI involved,
Mm,
but this is quite in depth, right? Um, and you mentioned about let's assume that we find, okay, I'm happy with it. So how do we move on from this point on?
Okay, so what you do is add it to your favorites, and you'll see it appears in your favorites. Okay, now when you go to your favorites menu, these are all my favorite items. Okay, I can reanalyze it, I can edit notes, and then I can export it to a CSV. So not all once you go through the software, I like this, I like this, I like this. You keep adding them to your favorites, and then revisit your favorites and add notes, saying, okay, what any notes that you want to add, and then you can export the CSV. So you have a comprehensive list that you can take and go source it.
And on the sourcing side, that's something that you have to do it by yourself, right? Or does it have any, software, will that software help in terms of sourcing?
No, we have agents. I have my agent that I use, and I have agents that one of my partner uses, who is pretty good. Uh, and if someone is using ScalePilot and they're at a point that they have done their research and they want to go after this product, I can put you guys in touch in touch with. We are, and I don't want to mention it yet, and don't hold me to it, Asab. We are building an integration. It's on the backlog. We are not building it currently, but what we will be doing is building Alibaba into the picture.
Wow.
So you have it. The favorites menu will tell you how many suppliers are there on Alibaba and rank them by stars, and so you have everything that you need in the software to go sourcing. That's a level of integration that we plan on doing. It's not there yet, but that integration is coming.
That's great. So let's assume in this case, I selected one item. I found the supplier from Alibaba, and the stock is arriving, like next week, for example. Now I need to focus on the listing creation, the listing content in terms of the creatives and the SEO side. So how can we do that from creating the listing?
Sure. So we don't, our software doesn't help you create listings. It lets you
Okay.
optimize them.
Okay.
So we used to help you create listings by just, we would ask you what your SKU is and ask you the product identifier, whether it was a UPC, EAN, or ENB and ENC, and the price and the category. We used to do that, but it seemed we took that functionality out and focus solely on optimizing your listings. So in order for you to use the listing optimizer, you have to connect your Amazon selling account, which is needed by the software. So you look at, we have the portfolio overview, the ASIN's monthly revenue, average conversion. This is a demo account, so take it with a grain of salt, but these are actual catalog items that exist in my listing. It will tell you, it will score everything for you. It will tell you the image, bullet point, keyword, title score. It will tell you what opportunities exist for optimization, your current listing details, your images and media. This is your hero image, and these are your detailed images. You can also do analysis on your listing by clicking this. Again, it will provide you detailed scores, AI performance predictions, click-through rate, average conversion rate bump should you optimize this listing, and conversion critical things that you need to take into account. Once you optimize the title, bullet point, and keyword, these are the bumps that we expect, and the conversion rate bump that we expect.
Right. And we can push directly from here to Amazon, right, for optimization?
Sure.
Okay.
So
And I have a
right now,
question.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
we have this Cosmo and Rufus, Cosmo on the back end and the Rufus on the front end. And there are a lot of things going on in terms of optimizing for Cosmo. That means intent, user intent. So there are like 14 different categories, right? Points that normally Cosmo will look into. So in terms of this listing optimization, is that been added already, or is that something is coming?
It's in there already. Glad you asked me. You're ahead of me. So which is good. So once you go in here, Rufus has 25 different points that it covers. We selected only the top 8 that we think impacts your listing the most, and we run your optimization analysis through those 8 factors. So the first thing you do is keywords, title, points, images, and then you do A/B testing. So it's laid out in that logical order. So this is in home and kitchen. You provide seed keywords. Take, for example, this is a air fryer paper liner. Okay, I'm going to use, and I'm going to click research. Now it's running it through our AI. It will tell you the competitive gaps, the keywords that are being used by competition, the trend, the volume, the PPC that we anticipate you will end up paying for that keyword. So this is doing real-time inferencing against our LLM.